So this is the Combat Station. I'm your host, Ty Matthews, and today we have a special guest in gentleman Josh Hill. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good as can be. So let's start off. You have a fight booked against Jared Scoggins, I believe.
That's right. Yeah, I do.
Now, I was gonna ask, what do you bring to this matchup that you feel is gonna beat him, and what troubles is he gonna bring you?
Um, I think I don't think he's fought anybody of my caliber yet. I think he's a good fighter. He's 10-1. He's got a good record, and but yeah, I don't think he's fought anybody like me. Anybody as athletic as me and as strong as me. And I think, yeah, I think I match up well with him. He's good. He's very bouncy, very light on his feet. But I think my timing and like my strength and speed and power will be too much.
What does a win here mean for you and your career going forward?
I mean, every next fight is the most important fight, right? So, yeah, man, I'm coming off a loss to Stotts back in May. So yeah, I want to get back in the win column, and yeah, so every fight's huge. This would be a huge win, and it puts me back in the mix amongst the top there for title contention, in that top five area.
Do you feel you are far from title contention? How many fights do you believe you're going to need to win to get to the belt?
Well, they were talking about the winner of me and Stotts was gonna get a title shot. And I know Sergio's got the belt and he's teammates with Stotts, so I think that's why Horiguchi's fighting him now. They re-signed him. So I think, probably, I'd say two more wins puts me kind of right back up there. Hopefully anyway, you never know. But yeah, a win here would be great, and then another win. Yeah, puts me right back in that contention spot, I think. But I'm just focusing on this one right now, man.
You mentioned the Ruffian Stotts fight. What did you take from that fight? Have you took any learning experiences from that?
Yeah, for sure. I just it was a shitty fight, man. Really. I don't even he won, and he performed better than me that night for sure. But it wasn't a great fight. It was a frustrating fight. Wasn't even a good one to watch. It just it just wasn't a good fight. I just didn't feel good. So yeah, sometimes that shit happens. I've been in the game for a long time. And but yeah, I just want to erase that one. I'll take what I learned from it, and apply it to this next one. But yeah, I just want to be. I want to be myself. That wasn't really me in that fight. I want to let go a little bit more and be free.
Pettis Horiguchi is coming up now. Do you have anyone you favor in that matchup? Who do you think is going to win?
That's a good fight. Sergio looked really good against Archuleta. Better than I thought. I picked Archuleta to win actually. But if I had to pick one, I think overall, I think Horiguchi. I think has more tools, and he's been there with some of the best. And yeah, if I had to pick, I lean towards Horiguchi.
Another upcoming matchup in your division is Patchy Mix versus James Gallagher. That's quite an interesting fight. Anyone you lean to in that one?
I think Patchy Mix beats him. I think, yeah. I mean, that's a fight that I wanted. I think everybody wanted that one against Gallagher, right? But yeah, I think I see him beating him really everywhere, to be honest. So I say Patchy Mix, and I'll probably say submission.
Maybe that can be a fight you get next. You win this. If James loses his, he's ahead of you in the rankings, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, rankings, I don't think they mean a whole lot anymore. You know what I mean? It just kind of they bounce everywhere. So, but whatever. Yeah, I would love that fight for sure. Whether he wins or loses, I would love that fight. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I'm going to ask you, how do you feel you match up with the champion right now, Sergio Pettis? Like, what do you feel you could bring if you did get a title shot?
I think I match up good with everybody, man. But yeah, he's going to be fast for 135 because he's come up from 25 as well. So we have speed. His movement's very good. His striking's it's top quality for sure. train out of Rufus Sport. Yeah, so but I just think my wrestling, my timing, I think that's the big thing that I think would give him troubles is catching people kind of coming in and whatnot. That's something I do very well. But yeah, he's I think that's a fight where I would have to like, mix it up a lot, not just, don't fall into just a striking match with him. You got to make it a mixed martial arts fight and really showcase wrestling and grappling and just really kind of, push that pace on instead of just, staying in that striking match.
Now, obviously, you're a seasoned veteran. You've had 20 something fights. What has been the biggest accomplishment of your career so far?
I don't know, man. People have asked me that. I mean, I've won a Canadian title, which was great. I fought twice for a world title in World Series of Fighting against Marlon Moraes, and I came up short in those. But I don't know, like, you know, I think for me, it'd be, Ultimate Fighter. Making on the Ultimate Fighter was a big accomplishment, and kind of being ranked the number one bantamweight in Canada for so long. And I beat Jesse Arnett, who was another guy that was ranked up at the top. That was a big win for me. And yeah, man, I think, it's easy to kind of get to the top. Well, it's not easy, but it's easier to get to top. It's harder to stay there. And I think I've kind of cemented my place at the top of Canadian bantamweights for a long time now. So that's a big accomplishment for sure.
It's hard to be number one at anything, so it's good that you've obviously made it to number one in Canada. Now, what has been the biggest learning curve of your career so far?
The mental game, I would say, and that's something I'm doing myself now. Kind of plug my business here. Yeah, I started my own mental coaching business called Cerebral Champion, and the reason I kind of got into it is because it's something I felt I lacked. I suffered from big time performance anxiety before fights, and I think it hindered some of my performances, even the ones I've won. So that was something I when I was injured, had some time and I just started reading about it. And I got really into it, really fascinated with it. And it's something I've been working on for the last few years. And then even went back to school and got a certification in sports psychology. So it's something that I feel that I lacked that I wish I had earlier in my career. And yeah, but I think I've made the most strides there in the past recent years for sure.
Now, speaking of you in your early career, if you could tell a younger version of yourself early on in your career, give him any advice, what would you tell him?
I tell him a few things, but enjoy the process. That's the big thing. We get focused on like the result, the outcome, and where you want to go instead of the time doing it. You know what I mean? And you kind of like go on that autopilot mode and kind of miss out on in the moment. So I would say, really, don't overlook that and enjoy that. And don't give a shit about what people think. To be honest, man, that was early in my career. I always thought like, oh, I can't lose. I was on an undefeated streak. I think I was like 9-0. And my biggest worry was, I can't lose because people expect me to win. And that hurt me, I think. So I think that I would talk to myself like that, like going back to the mental game and really just telling them, do this because you love it, do this for yourself, and just have fun doing it. That's the biggest thing. You do it because you love it. Don't make it something you don't enjoy. Make it a joyous moment in victory.
Now, let's finish it off with this one question. 2 years' time, where are you going to be in your career? You're going to have the belt. What are you going to have in 2 years' time?
Yeah, 2 years' time. I mean, ideally, yeah, absolutely. I would love it. I want, like I said, I look at it kind of fight by fight. I don't like to look too far ahead. It's good to have goals for sure, but if I look too far ahead, then I think I tend to like not focus on the things that are right in front of me. So, right now it's Scoggins, December 3rd, and that's my target, man. I'm getting that victory. And but yeah, 2 years, man. I would love to be, having that belt like we talked about, I'm number 7 right now in the rankings. That again doesn't really mean a whole lot because I could jump around anywhere. But yeah, a couple wins and then a title shot and win that world title that I've been the only thing really missing in my career is that. That would be a great way to kind of finish my career off with being the world champ.
Well, Josh, we'll end on that note, but it's been a pleasure having you on. I want to say thank you for your time, and anything you want to say to your fans before we go.
Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks for having me. No, anytime. And yeah, just thanks everybody for the support that they're the ones that out there and reach out and whatnot. And yeah, watch me fight December 3rd and I'm bringing home a W.
Mate, I'm rooting for you. Hopefully you get the win, and I wish you the
Thanks,
best
man.
going forward, mate.
Appreciate it, brother.
So this has been the Combat Station. This is Josh Hill, and we are out.